because I do think that part of this game was more of what the Vikings did. I think we need to put some respect on a particular football team name. And let's talk about these Vikings right now. Is it time to take the Vikings seriously as a Super Bowl contender? And Zay, you actually picked this team to win a division in the offseason. Okay, so that was one step. But do you think we should go extra mile and classify this team as a Super Bowl contender? The mic is yours.
When I saw this topic and I read it, I was really mulling it over. How do I want to play this? Because a part of me, I'm gonna go devil's advocate, right? Let's play both sides here. So when I say yes, right, as a Super Bowl contender, it's because the defense has exceeded everyone's expectations. No one anticipated the Vikings to be as great defensively as they have been. They're defensively sound. They actually won them this football game yesterday. It wasn't the offense, it was the defense that was really keeping them in this game and not allowing the lead to get as far as it got. And then further than that, the defense has been really amazing. Being able to try to contain as much as possible. Stephon Diggs gonna have his numbers whether you like it or not, but making sure no one else goes off and does their thing is where the defense was kind of lacking a little bit throughout the game with Singletary, but then they picked it up later as the games went on, especially getting the interceptions, getting fumbles, and so on and so forth. The reason why I say no, though, is because Kirk Cousins, this man just loves making mistakes. Man, this man, I told you, this games where he looks amazing, he can play great football, and then this games that Jay Cutler comes in. He's like, all right, let me just throw the game away. And that was what Kirk Cousins was doing. The Vikings play calling was so suspect. Dalvin Cook was rushing 10 yards a carry at one point, and they were not running a football. He had 10 carries, 10 yards per carry, not running a football. I was like, what are y'all doing? Run the football. The game is in overtime. Just run the football. Why is the game in Kirk Cousins' hands? It does not make any sense to me. But I say all that to say, I think it is time, as funny as it sounds, to take the Vikings seriously as Super Bowl contenders. This defense is going to carry this offense forward to a Super Bowl, because the offense is going to make mistakes. Kirk Cousins as your quarterback is going to make mistakes whether you like it or not. Until they inhabit the running the football all downs and let Dalvin Cook to rush 30 times a game, that's the only way I'll trust his offense, because everything else is so suspect. Kirk Cousins throwing a football, I don't know what's going to happen. He might throw a pick. He might throw to the crowd in 3B. I don't know what he's going to do. Kirk Cousins makes me not like this Vikings team, but the defense just amazes me every time they play, and I love to see their football team is very physical.
So you said all that about Kirk Cousins just to say that it's not time to panic? I mean, Zay, you would be a terrible lawyer, bro. My guy, I mean, he may be a murderer, right? But guess what? He's not a murderer. Like, he didn't murder that person. You'll be a terrible lawyer, bro. Respectfully. I'm going to answer this question. I'm going to say it is time to call them a legit contender. Look, I'm actually going to do a better job than Zay. I'm actually going to defend Kirk Cousins here. Kirk Cousins, listen, I think he's overhated, and I was on that bandwagon. Trust me, Kirk Cousins was not a guy that I liked. But I kind of like the cat right now. He's a good teammate. Right, you see him, doing his little dance on the airplane. He's a very good teammate. He's guys could rally around him. If he makes a mistake, he never throws anybody under the bus. Aaron Rodgers, okay. He's a good teammate, and I think he's actually a pretty gifted quarterback. If you really think about it, he can throw the football deep. And the reason why I consider them contenders is, number one, if Jimmy Garoppolo could make the Super Bowl, okay, I think Kirk Cousins can as well. I'm not saying he will, but I think he can. Kirk Cousins is actually a more gifted quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. His arm is not hindered from making the throws that you need him to make late in games. I think when you look at this team, they had to overcome two major things. A lot, but two major things they had to overcome in this game. Number one, being down 27-10, okay, against what people deem to be as a logistic favorite to come out of the AFC in Buffalo. Number two, they had to overcome a terrible call late in that game when Gabriel Davis had a 20-yard catch that he did not maintain control of the football. Okay, they had to overcome those two things, and they had to overcome, not scoring on that play to win the game, but rather giving Buffalo an opportunity to ice the game. So they had to overcome every single test in that game, and primarily through the year. They won 7 straight games by 8 or less points. So what they are overcoming is kind of different than what Buffalo is doing right now. They're actually overcoming, close games, and they actually are playing good. And Kirk Cousins, say what you want, he was making some good throws, a ball placement, etc. Kevin O'Connell, I didn't like how you came after him. Kevin O'Connell should be getting more Coach of the Year praise. Okay, because what he's doing is he's drawing up plays for his best weapons, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. And when you go back to that catch, before I pass the rock to Cuz, when you go back to that catch, the best catch I've seen probably ever, right? Maybe it's heat of the moment. Okay, this is the second day after that happened. Okay, maybe it's heat of the moment. That was the best catch I've ever seen by the best receiver in the league, in Justin Jefferson. That was like, hey, give your best weapon a chance to make a play. And if the Vikings can continue to do that, just allow their best weapons to make a play, they should be good. So, yes, to answer the question, I am going to consider the Vikings a contender because guess what? Who else? Who else in the NFC? Or we call them contenders. Who else? Those should Shadamas on the mic.
Yeah, cousin, I agree, though. You got like the 8-1. All right, you are what your records say you are. They 8-1. No matter how they won the games, no matter when they won the games, they are 8-1. They will have a home playoff game. They will win that division. But as you just said at the very end, it's the one piece that I'm going to take from you and run with it. Who else in the NFC? Unless you tell me somebody, and they're clear, the Eagles beat Minnesota, which they won, lost, and blew them out. But do we expect Philly to play Minnesota again? And I'm an Eagle fan. To be blowing them out? No. If they played Philly right now, to me, it could be a close game. And when you got Jefferson as a weapon, what? Super scary. I don't care about Kirk Cousins because it is 50-50. And that's why he have a legitimate shot to go to Super Bowl. Because at the end of the day, he might throw a bad interception. Or he might throw a spectacular play where Jefferson goes up and, like you just said, one of the greatest catches we ever seen. Okay? That's the type of talent that they have. They get Dalvin Cook, great running back. They got it from all angles. I think Minnesota, and I know Cousins is a suspect, but I think Minnesota as a team right now is a contender to go to the Super Bowl. San Francisco, Dallas, they play Dallas this week coming up, so we're going to see a lot more about Minnesota. Dallas with their pass rush or whatever. Philadelphia, no disrespect. And I know the Philadelphia Eagles is 8-0, and maybe I'm underestimating my own personal team. You know, I'm just a little wary to say, hey, they the greatest team right now. But at the end of the day, I think that everybody really, really close. I mean, from San Francisco, Dallas, Philly, Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota got a legitimate shot to make the Super Bowl. Clearly, they will only have to go on the road one time. That's the Philadelphia. And the Philadelphia go one and done, what people are predicting. No disrespect to them. Minnesota might have home court advantage throughout. You know what I mean? They can have the AFC championship game in Minnesota. The NFC championship game in Minnesota. So if they got the championship game at home, yeah. You think coming on to that Sunday, you think Minnesota don't have a shot to go to the Super Bowl? Clearly they do. So Kirk Cousins, to me, no disrespect, he's worse than Jimmy G. No disrespect. Because he makes bonehead plays at bonehead times. You know what I mean? And he really do it a lot. He don't play well in primetime. We all know that, okay? We ain't never see this dude on the big stage on Monday night or Sunday night where he the only game on and he ball out. He don't do that. All right? I'll take Jimmy G over him any day. But I think the team around him, the talent around him, and the fact that they're 8-1, and like you said, he's being a great teammate, and teammates is rallying around him, clear Minnesota is a good team. But Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback. You gotta admit to that.
I mean, to be fair, your guy Kyle Shanahan has been flirting with Kirk Cousins over the years, so I guess he begged to differ. But anyway, I would say this, Zay, we got a minute left. I'm gonna keep this real short. I'm gonna let you bring us home. Right? Matter of fact, bring us home for your payback, brother. I gotta let you get the mic. Spin the mic. Go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just say two things. One, Stephon Diggs had a pretty great catch, too. He had a one-handed snap. He threw the ball hand up there when it was like a third down and snagged the ball for Josh Allen because that ball was sailing. It was going somewhere. I don't know, but it wasn't going to Diggs. It was going somewhere, and he snagged the ball down. Secondly, there's only one team, in my opinion, and I've been saying this all year. I even said it last year. When they're healthy, they're still the scariest team in the playoffs, and that's the San Francisco 49ers. Their defense is serious. Anytime you play them, it's always a problem. And it's playoffs. They're a team that enjoys, in my opinion, enjoys playing on the road. They love playing against the adversity. They always show out in the playoffs. Now, rather you like them or not, rather you hate the offense, you hate the defense, you love the coaching, hate the coaching, they show up against teams on the road, and that's a team I never want to play in the playoffs. That's just how it is. That's why when I look at the Jets team, they're looking like a very similar 49ers team where their team, they love to play on the road, they love the adversity, and they show out when they're underlooked and they're overlooked. But that's a team, like I said, the Vikings should be Super Bowl contenders, but it's all about who they're playing. The 49ers are the only team in the NFC I see them maybe struggling against when the lights is brightest.
And to bring us home, I think if you're the Vikings, you need to capitalize off your momentum and go get Odell Beckham Jr. It makes sense for both sides. The Vikings are competing for something this year. I think they should sign Odell, have him play alongside Justin Jefferson, and reunite with his former offensive coordinator, now turned head coach Kevin O'Connell. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back for top number 3. Keep it locked.